Okay, welcome back. It's still Business Morning right here on Channels Television. We head to Southeast Anambra State now, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo had last week presented his spending plan for 2026, and it tagged Changing Gears 3.0. It says solution continues. That's the governor. The budget is valued at 757 billion naira for 2026. He presented it to the State's House of Assembly last week. We see that the budget is made up of 595.3 billion naira for capital expenditure. That's about 79%. One would say that's a pleasant position to see more going for capital, while 21% is going for recurrent expenditure. The deficit, however, stands at about 225.7 billion. Of that, and it's expected to be financed through hybrid funding options, public-private partnership, improve internally generated revenue, concessions, and support from financial institutions. We have joining us to discuss this morning the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning from the state, Ms. Chamaka Nake. Ms. Nake, good morning. Welcome to the program. I am happy to see 79% allocated to capital budget, capital spending for next year. I mean, that would be good for business, good for the business environment. But I guess we should start from the success for this year. The governor said that over 60% budget performance is what has been recorded in 2025. But one would say, where can we find the evidence of this? Is this just a number being shared with us?
Okay, good morning. Thank you for having me. So far in the year, and this is as at October, the government, Anambra State government has recorded budget performance of 61%, approximately 60 point something, so rounded up to 61%. And I will say that to my own assessment, this is quite impressive because this is as at October. If you had checked our budgets historically, we're quite heavy on capital projects. And where we are now is just showing an understanding that if you understand the infrastructure cycle, towards the end of the year is where the work happens, right? Where we speed up operations. And where we are now is how do we speed up things? How do we speed up operations to be able to kind of, maybe the most part of, we've we've actually gone through 4 budget cycles. And I think we got above 70% budget performance. And this year, we're expecting to get well over 70% performance. That's because if we are 61 as at October, we expect the remaining part of the year to be infrastructure heavy. Of course, if you understand how it happens is that the certificate job completion rate and then certificate rate. So we expect construction companies to speed up operations towards the end of this year, considering that we are currently in Harmattan season, dry season. So we expect construction to ramp up, and for us to actually, my estimation is that we shouldn't do anything more than or anything less than 75% by the 31st of December 2025. So that right in what we've done. And of course, in 2026, we're hoping to do way better than we have done in the past year. And what is quite important to note this year is that this year in Anambra State is an election year, right? And of course, yeah, this shows that as we have all done, we didn't stop the implementation or budget implementation didn't quite suffer because we're undergoing election. So just to say that Anambra State had continued implementation from beginning of this year up to this time, and even ready to ramp up implementation towards as the year rounds up.
So what would be the major focus for next year, seeing this almost 80% of the budget being allocated to capital expenditure?
For 2026, as well stated, so we're doing this investment. Our government has been quite heavy on infrastructure investment and human capital development, right? So where we are deepening most of it, we are building industrial cities. We're actually building 3 new cities in this year's budget. And where we are now is that we're going to do, we are currently doing the industrial park. We're speeding up the implementation, building of industrial park. And we also have 2 new cities in the pipeline for development. We have, and of course, road infrastructure remains one of the key focus of this government, considering the infrastructure deficit in the state. And human capital, we're deepening all we're doing within the human capital around education, sustaining our free education from nursery to senior secondary. We're also transforming some financial tertiary institutions from Wafori's College of Education, which is currently a college of education, is looking to be transformed to a university of education. We also, for health, we are trying to cover the loop in the health sector. While we are sustaining our free antenatal and free delivery, we also look and upgrading our the physical infrastructure in our health facilities and equipping them. Yeah, we also we are building a nursing school that will continue to provide pipeline of human capital into the sector, into the state.
All right, Commissioner.
And also,
All right, Commissioner, thank you. We're really out of time and we still have another conversation holding on. Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning in Anambra State, Ms. Chiamaka Nake. Thank you so much, and we certainly wish you the very best on the implementation of the next year's budget.